What is up, y'all? This is vlog 16. We're showing up every week of this year and just documenting and sharing it. Showing up, being consistent, and hopefully providing as much value as possible. I think one thing I was just thinking, which kind of inspired me to pick up the phone and start filming, is I think we tend to. I was listening to this incredible podcast conversation. I think it just hit me in a perfect time, and I'm linking it in my newsletter, which you can sign up for at the link in bio. It's 100% free. It comes out every week, every Tuesday. My best finds, 2-minute read, 2-minute Tuesday, 2-minute newsletter every Tuesday at 10 AM EST. With my best finds throughout the week, 2 to 10 of my best finds. And I think that this, I was just thinking, like, I did this 5-minute journal for a long time. I did Grant Cardone like a decade ago. He had a journal, and I've done like a bunch of different journals and planners, and I think it's a really good practice and habit, as is meditating. And there's kind of two, not to make it binary, but like two schools of thought. There's the Alex Hormozy, like, just get to work. And then there's the, set your energy, set your intention, take the time to work out. I know he works out as well, Hormozy, but I think he's just hitting the gym and getting to work. I don't think he's meditating and journaling and going on a walk and getting sun and cold plunging in sauna. And like, I think like do what you can with what you got. And I saw this other unrelated TikTok about this girl complaining about being depressed. And I saw this other dude she was saying about this dude that was on stage. It was like a round table. And she was saying how he is that one friend that's just always positive and just always smiling and always good vibes. And I feel like we all know that person or those people. And, and then he's like breaking down. And he's like, okay, but like what actually do you have to be so sad about? What are you so depressed about? You're so, you've got an incredible family, you've got an incredible job, a career, you've got an audience, you've got a show, like you're doing great. You've got food and shelter and whatever. And she had nothing to say. And then I saw a response from Tank Sinatra. He's like, depression doesn't need a reason. And I thought that was interesting as well. I'm not picking sides here. I think that's valid. But I do think that, like, it's become, I saw this other post, and it was 50 Cent. It requires a level of privilege to feel depressed. Like, you're not depressed when you're, I think that there's a level of abundance and luxury that the average American lives in. And this idea of depression has just like I don't know. That being said, like I said, I'm not denoting the reality of depression and that, there's real struggle and how that affects people. But I don't know. I mean, look, also, I just worked out. I feel good right now in this moment. And I think that, like, that's part of the key is, like, get yourself to feel good. Like, that's part of it. It's like, get yourself to feel good. And I think where our mind goes when we think of that sentence, get yourself to feel good, is quick dopamine. Is where we get addictions and, go get the fast food. Go watch porn. Go fucking, go smoke. Go grab a drink. Like, that's not what I mean by getting yourself to feel good. I mean, like, get into your body. Get out of your head. Go on a walk. Call a friend. Take a second. Go to the bathroom. Breathe. Fucking gratitude. Rattle it off. Just like look around and look at the abundance and all the blessings. A lot of people talk about this in manifestation, and I know that word is very triggering, I guess, to people, but you are creating your reality through your state, right? You're a constant creator. And I think that a lot of us are not realizing that we are creating. We are creatives. And the obstacle is the way, so to speak. And so the things that we're navigating and struggling with or overcoming, or in the process of overcoming or navigating or stressed about, or whatever emotion and feeling and situation we may be in, the obstacle is the way. I saw this graph that's also in the newsletter this week, and it's like this dot, and it's next to like a big block. And it looks from that zoomed in perspective like it's an obstacle. But then the next picture, it zooms out and you realize it's steps. And it's like, no, the obstacle's the way. You're leveling up, like you're overcoming, and you've leveled up on every level so far. And I think like every single time you're faced with a new challenge and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna figure this out. And yet you've overcome and made it through every situation you've ever been in. And yeah, like obviously we're gonna fail, we're gonna lose, we're gonna try shit, it's not gonna work. But I think when you can stop taking everything so serious too, it's a fine balance, a delicate balance, But something Naval Ravikant said on the Modern Wisdom podcast that resonated with me. It was a lot of things, about how short life is, but one thing really resonated, surprisingly, was him talking about what he wished like he knew 20 years ago. And he's like, be less emotional. And I think that like, you could say emotion is energy in motion, right? And so our mental state of being in the present moment is predicated on our energy. And we're in a constant state of motion, right? We've got atoms that are moving around, and it can feel very woo-woo, but I do think there's a lot of truth to it, and there's a lot we don't understand. And I guess I just wanted to kind of share while I was just pondering these things on, feel certain in your ability to overcome. Yeah, it can be hard, but hey, you're built different, like quite literally. You're created from a very powerful energy and source, and you have that power within you. And you don't need someone else to tell you that you can do something, and I think also, like, I wrote this down from the podcast too. You can't feel scared when you're giving, right? And you can't feel scared when you're genuinely giving, not giving to get or doing something to get something, right? Like, yes, in this context, I want likes and comments and subscribers and people to listen to my music and money and all that, yes. But like in this moment, in this creative moment, the goal is to provide value and to share, and in hopes that through consistent showing up, I can provide as much value as possible. And in turn, people may feel, inclined, so to speak, to reciprocate. But I'm not necessarily doing it for that. I'm doing it to give value, right? And to show up for myself and to document where I'm at each week here. And I'm not always diving down into details. I feel like that's a fine line, figuring out how to walk that. Like, what are we sharing? What do I want to be private? What do I want? So I'm still figuring all that out as well. But yeah, I think you can't be scared when you're giving. You can't be scared when you're grateful. And fear plagues all of humans, and it's innate in us, but there's no fear in the creator. And if you don't believe in God or whatever, like, look at it from, I guess what I would say is like, just take yourself out of it, I think that's where we get depressed. And I think expression helps with that too. Expressing ourselves, expressing our gratitude, expressing our appreciation. I think the times when it just feels like I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, and you feel stuck and you feel powerless, so to speak. It's hard. One thing that he said in the podcast, that resonated too, is like, okay, last two things I'll say is, I know some people don't believe in reincarnation, but what if, your soul was like brought to this moment to figure it out? And you can put a lot of like weight on that, but like just think about it, like the same way there's four seasons and gravity's perfect in the water and the plants, and it's all just like in alignment in a lot of ways. Like sometimes you just have to just let go of the thinking and just be living, be alive, and be present. And trust in the power that there's something more powerful, rely on that, as opposed to your human flaws and insecurities. And, we're all experiencing different yet similar things internally. And I think like, if you can get out of here, I think that's where the magic is. It's controlling the mind, because the mind can run loose, like inside out too, like anxiety and all these emotions, you can run loose. And so getting to the body, exercising, and whether it's jumping jacks for a minute, like I think it's just a really good reminder. It's hard. Object at rest tends to stay at rest. It's hard to get up in the morning. It's hard to start moving, but I guess let this be a reminder. And I don't know, think of, because these are things I struggle with. So it's like, I don't have a script here. I'm just kind of trying to provide value, and also, hopefully have some nuggets of takeaways here. But I appreciate you for checking in and tuning in, for watching this. And I hope you are well. I hope all is well with you. And I appreciate you. Last thing I'll say is I have a new song, Holding On, out now. It's called Holding On by Zico, ZCO. It started making it 3 years ago, actually, and it's inspired, by the grind, the tedious grind. This last week I've recovered 2 external hard drives that I thought were lost, and there's a lot of footage and files on there that I'm so grateful that I have access to, and it was a great reminder of like how long it takes, And I think I had insecurity when I started because I wasn't good. And I know that there's a lot of room for growth still, but I feel like I'm at a place now where I'm like, hey, like I have value to provide. I've put in years of work. I've prepared. I'm not coming into this just asking, I'm coming into this with value. I've accrued value and knowledge and experience and wisdom to apply and put through the songs. And I'm really grateful to be in this place, even though it's been extremely fucking hard. And so I'm just so much gratitude, and I'm excited to continue to serve and to continue to grow, to be able to continue to serve more. And I'm enjoying the process and having fun, and I know I'm capable, and I'm excited to keep getting better. Like, I think that's what's fun too, is like knowing that there's room for growth. And I don't need to be Beyonce today, or whatever, next week or next year. Like, I can look back and see how far I've come, and know that I can, as I grow, continue to delegate and continue to grow and hire and do lessons and things along that line to really just get better, because I do love the craft, and I've always wanted to come at it, even though I'm a, writer, rapper, like recording artist turned producer, whatever. Like, I've always respected greatness, and I've always wanted to do what it takes to give my best shot to be amongst that. And I think we define that in a lot of ways, you know. So go be great. I'll see you next week. Have an incredible week. And keep going, as always. Peace.